Former US President Barack Obama and his wife Michelle Obama struck a message of hope and unity on day 2 of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, hailing Kamala Harris as the best person to lead the United States. The Obamas also took shots at Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump and his divisive politics. Amid loud cheers, the former president told gathered Democrats that the United States is ready for Kamala Harris to be the next president of the United States. Obama said, and I'm going to quote him here, "Kamala Harris is ready for the job. This is a person who has spent her life fighting for people who need a voice."
We do not need 4 more years of bluster and bumbling and chaos. We have seen that movie before, and we all know that the sequel is usually worse. America's ready for a new chapter. America's ready for a better story. We are ready for a President Kamala Harris.
The former president said that America can be and must be a force for good, adding that that's what Kamala Harris believes. Listen to this.
We shouldn't be the world's policemen, and we can't eradicate every cruelty and injustice in the world. But America can be and must be a force for good. Discouraging conflict, fighting disease, promoting human rights, protecting the planet from climate change, defending freedom, brokering peace. That's what Kamala Harris believes, and so do most Americans.
Barack Obama started his address by paying tribute to President Joe Biden. Obama said that his decision to ask Joe Biden to serve as his vice president in 2008 turned out to be one of his best decisions yet. Obama warned the crowd that even though the torch has been passed to Harris, the work for the Democrats was not yet done. Barack Obama was preceded by wife Michelle Obama, who tops Democrats' wish list as a future president of the United States. Michelle Obama, a Chicago native, received a grand welcome and began her speech with a message of hope for America.
America, hope is making a comeback.
Hailing the credentials of the Vice President, Michelle Obama said that Harris was one of the most qualified people ever to seek the office of the presidency. The former First Lady also took an indirect swipe at Donald Trump for insinuating that Harris and other Democrats were not real Americans. The former First Lady said, and I'm going to quote her here, "No one has a monopoly on what it means to be an American. No one."
The embodiment of the stories we tell ourselves about this country. Her story is your story. It's my story. It's the story of the vast majority of Americans trying to build a better life. Look, Kamala knows, like we do, that regardless of where you come from, what you look like, who you love, how you worship, or what's in your bank account, we all deserve the opportunity to build a decent life.
The Obamas spoke after Democrats delegates officially affirmed Harris as their presidential nominee. Harris and her running mate, Governor Tim Walz, took the stage in Milwaukee right as she was reaffirmed as the Democratic nominee by the delegates at the convention. Now, Democrats held a symbolic roll call and delegates from each state pledged their support for the Democratic nominee, Kamala Harris. The roll call was held in a party-like atmosphere with a DJ spinning a special song for each state and territory. Earlier, Douglas Emhoff, husband of Vice President Kamala Harris, hailed her as a joyful warrior and said that she always stood up to bullies.
She finds joy in pursuing justice. She stands up to bullies just like my parents taught me to. And she likes to see people do well, but hates when they're treated unfairly. She believes this work requires a basic curiosity in just how people are doing. Her empathy is her strength.
The list of speakers on day 2 of the convention included Senator Bernie Sanders, Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer, and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. Stephanie Grisham, Donald Trump's former White House press secretary, also made an appearance here at the Democratic National Convention. She told the crowd that she used to be a true believer who spent holidays with the Trump family, but now she is backing Harris.
It's because unlike my boss, I saw him when the cameras were off. Behind closed doors, Trump mocks his supporters. He calls them basement dwellers.
Grandsons of former Presidents Jimmy Carter and John F. Kennedy cast Vice President Harris in the same image as their famous family members. Meanwhile, a Reuters report claimed that the Harris election effort has raised some $500 million. The U.S. Vice President entered the fray after President Joe Biden stepped aside from the top of the Democratic ticket just last month, unleashing floods of funding that had dried up in the weeks after Biden's disastrous debate against Trump.